Good evening and welcome to Moonshot Nutrition. My name's Addison. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about what I had incorrectly called in a previous video the different sources of protein. What I really meant to say is I'm going to talk to you about grass-fed versus grain-fed whey. Now, of course, when we say grass-fed whey, what we mean is grass-fed cows that produce the milk that they got the whey from versus grain-fed cows that produce the milk that they got the whey from. Well, here's what you will learn if you start reading through the internet. You will learn all about how grass-fed whey is far superior to grain-fed. And health expert after health expert will tell this to you. Even health experts I supremely respect and I've learned tons from. There's just one problem. There doesn't seem to be any evidence that this is actually the case. Now let me be clear. From an ecological standpoint, from a animal welfare standpoint, there is no question that grass-fed whey is more humane and better for the animals than is the grain-fed. That goes without saying. In my opinion, there's no argument to be made there. But again, what do we do here at Moonshot Nutrition? We are all about the biology. What does your biology care about? And it turns out in this instance, your biology could care less if it came from grass-fed or grain-fed cows, and here's why. When the cows eat grass versus grain, you get a lot of beneficial effects to the cows, such as some of the mineral content in the food that the cows are eating, the fats that the cows produce, as well as the fat soluble nutrients that the cows produce are going to be healthier, more omega-3s in grass-fed butter and grass-fed beef, and you'll get an increased level of antioxidants, all of which are very good. Now here's the problem. None of that stuff is in your whey powder. It's just amino acids. That's it. It's the amino acids found in whey protein. And they've tested this before. It's the same stuff. The amino acids found in grass-fed whey protein are the same amino acids found in grain-fed whey protein. Same stuff. I don't know what they're talking about. And interestingly enough, I couldn't even find evidence to back up any of their claims. And just so you know, the main claim that they often make is that grass-fed whey protein will give you a bigger boost. Generally speaking, they talk about it being healthier. When you dig a little deeper, what they're actually claiming is that grass-fed whey protein will give you a bigger boost to the glutathione levels than grain-fed whey protein will. Again, feel free to send me the links to good studies that actually show this. I am certainly not the most well-read person on the planet, so I always leave it open to the idea that I missed something, but I can't find it. Glutathione is simply the well, not simply, but it's the awesome master antioxidant in your body. Also helps your body recycle a lot of other antioxidants and produce things like alpha-lipoic acid, recycle vitamin C, and so on. So it's wonderful to boost the production of that particular compound within your body, but realize that it's actually just made of three simple things: cysteine, glutamine, and glycine, 3 amino acids. And as you might have guessed, you find those amino acids in a plentiful supply in, you guessed it, whey protein. So if the amino acid isn't changing from grass-fed to grain-fed, then how on earth are we getting this massive bump to glutathione? It's weird, isn't it? The protein structures aren't changing, but for some odd reason, what our bodies does with them is? It's a little strange. And again, you'll find that there's no real evidence to back this up, and there have been the occasional voice, even deep within the paleo community and other groups that really care about grass-fed and are very vocal and very passionate about it. There have even been a few voices within that community that have occasionally stopped and said, I'm not sure that these claims we're making about grass-fed whey can really be backed up by any science. And of course, mysteriously enough, nobody really talks about those articles or the lack of evidence. They just keep soldiering on. So I'm here to tell you, feel free to buy your grass-fed whey protein powders if you want to do more good for the planet, again, from an ecological standpoint. If you want to do more good for animal welfare, both excellent reasons to buy that kind of powder. But if you think you're doing it because you're giving your biology an extra boost, I'm sorry, there just doesn't appear to be any evidence that that's the case. And just as an interesting side note, make certain my time's okay here. As an interesting side note, if you're somebody that wants your protein powder to be really free of any of the emulsifiers like soy lecithin and some of the other things they will tend to actually add even to whey protein powders to try to get them to dissolve better in water, okay, as well as flavorings that are maybe less than really natural. If you're one of the people that wants to find those powders that are higher quality in that sense, you're probably going to find yourself buying grass-fed whey protein just because the companies that make the grass-fed whey protein are usually trying to sell their powders to the people that tend to care more about that kind of thing. Okay, so they're going to have real chocolate in their chocolate-flavored whey, and they're going to use the better non-caloric sweeteners such as stevia, maybe erythritol, some monk fruit extract, things like that. They're going to use the pure sub-ingredients along with the whey for their various formulations. So that's just a fun side note for people that portion of their whey protein is really important. Anyways, I've taken up enough of your time. My name's Addison. This is Moonshot Nutrition. Thank you so much for watching. Use this information, improve your life, make the world a better place. Good night.